Welcome to MountBlue Prep. MountBlue Prep is a proprietary track of MountBlue, which helps you in improving your problem-solving skills and complete the Hacker Rank challenge of 2600 points. So in today's session, I'm going to take up objects, problem solving using objects in JavaScript. So let me share my screen. Yeah, let's go to Adobe and solve few problems here. It was yesterday's problem. Let's take up objects here. Let's take this example so that we'll give you an idea of how the objects are used in JavaScript. Fine. This is a simple example that shows you how you are going to calculate the total price of groceries. So what is given is input. Okay, so you are given an array of objects. Okay. So array of objects, then you have to calculate the total price. So your array of objects looks like this. So you are having each object with what product, quantity, and price. So if this is given, how you are going to calculate the price is this way, isn't it? Quantity into price. So whatever may be the price, so multiplied by the quantity, you'll get the cost. But we are given what here objects, array of objects. For all the objects we need to process. So how we are going to do that one? Let's check that one. Let's first of all check here console.log of groceries, what we are getting here. Server error. Okay, no server space left. Fine, let me refresh this once, guys. is an internal error. Okay, no problem. Let's take this and try to solve in this one. Fine. So what we are required to do is we are required to create a function, isn't it? That calculates the total cost and that takes what groceries, isn't it? So in this case, what is groceries here? Let's see. These are the products that we are getting, isn't it? So it's an array. So when you're calling this one, you're going to just send the array as a parameter, isn't it? Total cost of these groceries. So these groceries are nothing but an array. Good. Let's do a console of this one and check console.log of total cost. Good. So we are getting the input like this. See here, guys. Now from this we need to take the quantity and multiply it with the price. So how we are going to do that one? Let's check here. So we have an array. So for processing the array, like in any programming language, you can use a loop. So here I'll be using a loop here to iterate through all the elements in an array. For yeah, you can just take obj of what groceries. Okay, and let's display this one. So what do we get here? One by one objects. Console.log of what? We have an array of objects, isn't it? So we get an object here. One by one we are getting the object. First object, then second object. Now from this we need to find the total. So how do we get the total here? Total cost of all the price, isn't it? So for all the items, let's declare one variable here for storing the total. Initialize the value as 0, isn't it? So the object obj will give it each object. First of all, you'll get the object as what here. This product as milk, quantity as 1, and price as 150. Let's take that one. So total plus is equals to what we are going to do here, obj dot quantity into obj dot price, isn't it? So this way we would get the total calculated. So obj dot quantity for every object. Yeah, from this object we are going to have what quantity as 1 and 1 into 1.50 that will be multiplied, isn't it? So that value will be stored in the total. That is for this object. Next for this object it will iterate to the next object. This is cereals. Its quantity is 1, price is 250. So you'll get that. Good. Let's display that console.log total cost is plus total. So getting total cost as what? 4. That is 1.5 into this one. Let's change the quantity here and check it out. Suppose if you have quantity as 3, the quantity is 3. So what we are getting here? It's taking a lot of time to process. Can you guys see my screen, everyone? Can you see my screen, everyone? Yeah, fine. Now we got the total cost as 4. Now let's change the quantity here as 3 here. Now we got the total cost as what? 7. So this is how we are just using an object. Array of objects are there, and you have to take the price from each object and multiply with the quantity for each object and just store in that one. So that way you can get the total. So what we have done here, yeah, like in most of the cases you'll be given array of objects. So from the array of objects, how to process each value or each object, and value here in this case is an object. Now to iterate through this one, like where obj of, so there is a variant of for loop of which will iterate through that objects or values. You can use it for array of objects or list of values, isn't it? So obj of what? Groceries. First of all, you'll be getting first object, then second object, like that. And as you iterate through the object, as you take each object, we multiply the quantity with the price and store that value in the total. So this is how you calculate the total. Yeah, this was how you could use objects. If you have any queries, just text me in the chat. We'll discuss at the end of the session. Yeah, it's okay now. Let's see this one. Let's apply that code here and check it out. Fine. Console.log. Yeah, we have to return the total. In this case, return what? Total. So it has passed all the test cases 1.5, 4, 4.5, 10.4. Okay, guys. So last test case, there is a problem here. Actually, expected output was zero point 0.3. So what we got is what? 0.300004. Isn't it? So how we are going to resolve this one issue? Everyone just pay attention to this. So we got this way. So we have to take up to only, after point, we should take only decimal values up to one place. So how we are going to have that one? Yes, everyone, how can you do that one? Just text me in the chat, guys. So how we are going to do that one? Total, we got it. We got the result, but here in some cases, there will be some test cases will not pass because of this reason. So how can we do this? So you are going to use a round function or round up the value, or floor, seal, what you are going to use here. 0.3 is correct only 0, but we got it as what? 0.30004. How can we resolve this? Well, whatever is your opinion, just text me in the chat how you are going to resolve this issue. So this is a number. So total is a number. So in that we are having one function called as what? To fixed to 1, isn't it? So when we are using 2 fixed to 1, we are getting the output correct. 1.5, okay, 4.0, okay, 4.5, 10.5, and 0.3. It was okay here, but it is in the form of what? String. So again, this string, we are getting this in the form of a string, isn't it? So we have to convert that to number. So for that, you can just use here. Yeah, this is an exceptional case we got here. So that has to be rectified as well. So when you are doing hacker rank also, like such issues will come up. Is that okay, guys? Fine. So what I have done is what I have fixed it. To fixed will remove the decimal places up to what? After point only up to one place. Okay. Yeah, but that will give in the form of what? String. Again, that I am converting it to what? Number. Okay. Fine. Yeah, let's go to next challenge here. This is purely using objects. So we are doing this. So the next problem is here we have to create a function that returns what? The frequency distribution of an array. So this function returns an object. It should return an object where the keys are unique elements and the values are the frequency in which those elements occur. We are given an array like this. Okay, so where we are having repeating values in the array. So how many times that each element is repeating, that we have to return. So A is there, isn't it? This has been repeated how many times? 4 times. Then you have B here. It is repeated how many times? Only 1. So your output should be this one, isn't it? Suppose if you are having numbers also. So the output is as such that each unique value will become a key. Okay, each unique value in an array will become the key, and its occurrences, how many times it is repeated in an array, that will go as the value for that key. Good. So we have to get the unique values, isn't it? Now if you are given this array, it's like this. If you are given an empty array, isn't it? It should return an empty object. Okay. Let's take this example. So how we are going to solve this? Let's see this first of all. So what is the approach you are going to follow? We have to count the occurrences. Of each unique value in an array, isn't it? First of all, I want to get the unique values in an array. Then for each unique value, count its occurrences. Then update that in the object. So there are many approaches in JavaScript to get the unique values in Python as well. So how we are going to do that one is, let's create one unique values array. So you can get this using set. So whatever array we are getting now, that we are just going to pass to this, and you are going to have the unique values in an array obtained here. What is set here? New set is an object that will create the unique values from a given array. You can see here this set is having what? Only A, here with A, B, and there are A, B, C. Three unique values are there, and there are two unique values, true or false, and there are three unique values, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So once we got the unique values, for each unique value, we have to, so here the unique array is there, in that we are having the unique values. Let's do this one. For each unique value, for each value of unique. So unique is an array here in this case, isn't it? Sorry, it's a set. We can apply off on the set also of unique, isn't it? And we have to compare that values with the array, given array. So let's, for counting that, let's declare one variable here, count, and assign an initial value of 0, isn't it? Then for, I want to iterate through this array, given array, input array. So for iterating through the array, we are using one loop here, isn't it? You can use here for var, val is for each value in the array, given array, or var val of what? Array, arr. Now we need to check. So this element that I'm taking now here, that we are going to get it using val, if that is the value that we are getting from the unique. So in the set, what we got the values here in the unique, you got the value as what? In the set as A, isn't it? Now in this case, you should get what? A comma B, sorry. There are two unique values, A comma B. So what will happen here? You'll get what? This value is there. This value you are going to compare with the val value, will be compared with the value that is coming from the set. So how you are going to compare? If value is equals to what? Val, that is the element in the array, current element in the array. Just we are going to count that one. Count plus plus. Good. So for each element, for each unique element, we will get a count here, isn't it? So you are going to iterate through the array and compare. Okay, just check that one. Console.log value comma count. So value is coming from the set. Let's see that one. Yes, we are getting A is repeated 2 times, so we got that one, isn't it? A is repeated 4 times, that we got it. So this is a simple logic that you are using to count for each occurrence of a unique element, how many times it is being repeated, that we are counting. Isn't it? Yeah, guys, can you see my screen, everyone? Can you see my screen? Is any problem? Yes, okay. So once we got this one, we have to create the objects and update it. So the resultant should be an object. So I'll just create an object here. How you are going to create an empty object is this way. Result is equals to, just create an empty object. And each unique value will go as a key. So where we are getting that is a value. So here we are going to update that one. So how we are going to update that one? Result, isn't it? Of value is equals to count. Is that clear? So in an empty object with no properties, so each unique value will go as a key. Then how many times it is occurring, that will go as a count. So that way we are going to update that object. Then let's return that one. Return the result. Okay, so all the test cases are passed here. You can see here. So how we are getting this? Let's see here. If you are giving an empty array, you are getting an empty result, isn't it? In this case, you are having a only a was there, and so a its occurrences how many times? 2 times. So that you are getting as an output. Suppose in this case, it is a b, unique values are what? A b. So a is repeated 4 times and b is occurring only 1 time. So you got the output here, a as 4 and b as 1. Good. Any queries in this? You can just text me in the chat. Yeah, this is a simple logic that I'm following that will be helpful for anyone who's doing in any language. You can just simplify this one using map and okay, and do that as well. Filter also you can apply on this one and you can simplify this. Good. So let's go to the next problem here. That is an object itself. You are taking a function here, create a function that takes an array of objects. Same, similar to the previous problem, it is also taking an array of objects. So what we are required to do is what? And returns an array of objects. Fine. So name is John, and there is a pair with key nodes here that is having an array again 3, 5, 4. So among this one, what is the maximum node that we have to take? That we have to take the maximum node here. So it is 3, 5, 4. So if it is 3, 5, 4, we got the output as what? 5. We have to take the name, and from this array we have to take the maximum node and update it as what? Max or top node with the value of the top node as what? Whatever it is, 5. Okay, if the student has no nodes and empty array, then okay, then top node should be what? 0. The top node should be what? 0 here. Let's first of all display this. So we are getting an array of objects here. Okay. So what we have to do here, we have to iterate through the objects, each object, isn't it? Let's iterate to the objects for where obj of students. So separately you are getting each object. Good. Now from this, what we have to do, we have to get the maximum value from this one, isn't it? So this is an array again. So when we say obj dot nodes, we get an array, isn't it? So obj dot nodes will give an array. You can see here. Now from this one, we have to find the greatest element, isn't it? So how you are going to get the greatest element from that one? From each object array, we are going to get the maximum element. So let's declare one variable here, max is equals to. So how do we get that maximum value? You can use here math dot max of. Okay, then you can destructure this one obj dot nodes. So obj dot nodes will give you the value array. Okay, so that value we are just destructuring. So we'll get the value separated 5 comma 4 comma 3. So in the math object we have a max function, so that will give you the maximum value. So once we are getting the maximum value, isn't it? So that we are going to update it in the object. So how we are going to update that, let's see here. So before that, let's print this and check we are getting the maximum value. What is the maximum value we are getting for each object? Nodes. Okay. So you're getting 5, 3, 3, it's okay, infinity. So when there are no nodes, you are getting it as what? Infinity. Fine. Okay. When the array is empty, the nodes array is empty, what we are getting here is what? Infinite. Let's check that one. What? If abj dot nodes dot length is equals to 0, then what we are going to do here? Max is equals to 0. Else max is equals to, then you can just check it out here what we are getting. Yeah, we did not get infinity, but we are getting 0, isn't it? In the previous case we got infinity. Why? Because when the array was empty, so we got it as infinity. Good. So to resolve that one, if we are getting the length of the nodes array as empty, then we are setting the max as 0. Otherwise max is, we are calculating this value. Now we have to create a new object here, isn't it? So let's create here new object. So that should have what? Name, I think. So the name should be updated as it is. So new object dot name is equals to obj dot name, isn't it? So this is from this one we are getting the name, isn't it? That should go as it is. And after that we should have what? Top node. So that way we are just updating the new object. Top node is equals to, what is the value here? We are going to have it as what? Max. So that is for each object. Let's display this one and check. new obj. For every object, you'll get the name as well as top node value set at max. Good. So we're getting here jack top node 5 0. Good. Now this, when we are going to return, it should be again an object. I think fine. It should returns an array of objects, isn't it? Array of objects. So what we are going to have, let's declare an array of objects here. Results is equals to array, and let's push this one. So how we are going to push to an array? Results dot push. Result dot push of what? New object that is having what name as well as this. So every time that you are going to calculate this, you are going to update this one. Let's return this results. So what you are going to return here is what? Results. Okay, we got it. So there are different concepts here. Like you can check it that how we are using. One thing is getting the maximum element from a array of elements from numeric values, and as you iterate through each object, isn't it? So given an array of objects, when you are iterating through objects, what we are doing here, we are checking, isn't it? We are calculating the maximum value in of nodes in each object, isn't it? So once we are getting the maximum value, then we are creating a new object that has to be created with what name and top node. So that we are updating here. Now once these values are updated here, you can see that resultant values, whatever object for each object, isn't it? So we are just pushing that. We are pushing that into the results. So what is the results is an array here, isn't it? That is an array. Now what you have here in an object, generally in an object, whenever you are creating, if we are creating an empty object with no properties, so every time you iterate to the object when you are calculating the max value, so from that we have to take the name and top node. So the name is coming from the obj.name. So for each object that has come as an input, that will be updated with the what? New object, and maximum value will be updated with the key of what? Top node, isn't it? So these were not existing. For every object these are created, and once we are creating, we are just pushing that to the results array, isn't it? So you can just check it out. So when you're creating a new object here, you do not have anything, isn't it? So as you're not having anything, now we can just create here. New object of square bracket. So name, you can give your name is equals to Raj. Top note. Okay, so this value we are updating with what? Max 5. This will just create that way. And one more thing I would like to explain here is what, like when we are having an array where array is equals to list of values. In this example today that we have taken, how to find the maximum or greatest element in an array. So what did I use here? Math.max of what? I've given the list of value. Directly it will not take, max function takes what? List of values. Suppose you need to give values separated with comma, isn't it? So maximum among the list of values is what? 6 here. But here it's an array. So if we give directly an array, it would result in an error that is not a number. It should be a number, isn't it? So for that we are using this one. 3 dots represent what? You are destructuring here. So list of values you will get here, isn't it? So these, when you are giving 3 dot, what does this mean? This is destructuring in JavaScript. So it will create individual elements from the given array elements. So you're getting 390. Good. So this is the case you understood. But suppose if there are no elements, the array is empty. So what we are getting here? Infinity or minus infinity. This was the case. So this is the case that you should understand here. When there are no elements in an array, and if you destructure, that is giving you the value as what? Infinity, isn't it? So for that reason, I have checked what if array dot length is equals to 0. You are doing something. If it is not equals to 0, then only we should find not equals to 0, isn't it? If array dot length is not equals to 0, then only it should give the find this one. Else you can see a console.log. You can just give a message array is empty, isn't it? Array is empty. Yeah, this is one of the principles you should remember, that when you have empty elements, and the max will give you what? Infinite. If you are applying on that one. Okay, any queries in this one? If you have, you can just text me in the chat. I'll just take up queries. Any queries in this? I'll just stop the recording and then we'll discuss that.